To begin my presentation from the perspective of an indigenous woman of my beloved country, Fiji, which has its values and tradition. I grew up in a very remote village setting. I used to hear my parents say, when breadfruit trees are fruiting heavily, people know to prepare for cyclone season. Or when cockroaches begin to emerge, it is a good indication that rain is coming. That is the values of my tradition and culture. Indigenous tradition knowledge and practices are important to us, but often overlooked component of climate resilience and age cultural knowledge from the Pacific and help to inform modern climate procedures. I am the member of the Fijian Teachers Association in Fiji and also representing the Council of Pacific Education, which has 17 island countries in the Pacific region. Our islands are located in the Pacific Ocean. These changes, along with the temperature rise, will displace communities and will prove disruptive to the education system, national economy, tourism, agriculture and fisheries, the largest contributors to the nation's GDP, will be severely impacted by the climate change, causing increase in poverty and food security. The Pacific people are the frontliners of climate change as we feel the impact first and most severely. It will continue to affect our Pacific way of life and the sustainable development of our islands in a profound ways. People who are already most vulnerable and marginalized will experience the greatest impact. The Pacific Islands are home to the wealth of tradition and cultural knowledge about climate adaptation, and it is a place where communities have long been enacting local solutions to combat the impacts of climate change and to build resilience. Therefore, it is very important for the government officials to stimulate and support the integration of climate change education for sustainable development approaches in education courses, along with the cross-curricular classroom practice and non-formal learning programs. The course also emphasizes the importance of supporting educators to take action, starting locally, with targeted activities aiming to effects of climate change. More collaboration of stakeholders to update and review the implementation within the education sector regarding climate change. Provide educators and trainers to enable teachers to develop hands-on education systems for sustainable development programs. Once we have built member and organizations' confidence, knowledge and capacity, it's time to target the decision makers to ensure the inclusion of climate change as a subject of its own or incorporated into other subjects so that application to reality are applicable. Create awareness on climate change on natural resources. The Ministry of Education officials to provide a platform along with supporting documents and course outline which can be used for developing climate change pedagogical programs, activities, or materials. Ministry of Education officials is to train teachers to incorporate rigorous scientific knowledge and ethical reflection into climate change adaptation and mitigation approaches and measures in small islands and coastal regions. Teachers Union, we also have a role to play. Firstly, we need to raise awareness to our union members on the impact of climate change. Before educating students, we need to educate and prepare our own members, employers, and the government authorities that we deal with. Run professional development and events for union members and officials, covering climate responses, that climate change is the union business also. Union workplaces should be considered developing their own climate-proof action plans. This set up a union's own short-term and long-term targets and make policies to suit its member. This can take a number of forms, but builds the case. This is a way of argument and creates momentum for change.